As I said, I seen this comedian on YouTube from my good friend Rich Carucci, and I loved her. And she's a rare talent, so let's give it up and an up-late welcome for Sharon Simon.
Thank you so much. What an intro to go up after Shorty Slim, Shorty Long, Shorty Tall. They were amazing. They make me wish I could be a rock star. And I'm not. I wish, but I try to look like a little Stevie Nicks, a little Cyndi Lauper. I just end up looking a lot like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. I think what's obvious from the way I dress is that before I go shopping, I smoke a lot of weed. Thank you. Please, I see you judging me. Please don't judge me. I need it. I live with generalized anxiety disorder. In other words, Jewish. So I travel for comedy, and some places I go places, and I have full-on panic attacks sometimes. I was recently working in Ohio and had a horrible panic attack. After the gig, I went to a diner with the other comic. We sat down and we started eating and drinking, and I was like, oh my God, I can't taste, I can't smell. I was worried I had COVID again, and then I remembered that I was in Ohio. And I'm vegan. There are no other vegans in Ohio than the cows. Yeah. The guy I was working with found out I was vegan because, of course, I told him. He got so bent out of shape. He was like, Sharon, you're a vegan and you're a woman. How do you get your iron when you're on your period? I know. That's a really big assumption that I still get my period. So then he's like, well, I bet you if I made you a chicken dinner, offered you $1 million to eat it, you'd eat it. For $1 million, I'd eat a baby. Are you kidding me? But the assumption people make when they find out that I'm vegan is that I'm going to tell them what to do. And they think I'll be like, don't eat that, that's cruel. And I want you to know something. I honestly think any adult telling any other adult what to do is cruel. I do. Yes. In fact, my husband eats everything. Yeah, not everything. But I'm happily married. I got through the shutdown. My sister got divorced recently. Don't feel bad for her. Bitch got so much money. Oh my God. I want you to like me. I don't want you to think I'm a bad person. But when she got divorced, I was a little bit excited because divorced people don't keep the shit that their ex gave them. So I'm like, what's my sister gonna give me? Clothes, jewelry? This bitch gives me her printer. I can't hook up a printer. And if I could afford tech support, I could afford to buy myself a new printer. So the craziest thing happened. This one night I was up late watching Columbo. A commercial came on for a singles call-in line that's free for women to call called the Night Exchange. I don't know if you've ever seen these commercials, sir. It'll be like a half-naked hot young girl, and she's like going at the camera like, call me at the Night Exchange. I'm lonely and waiting. So I got the greatest idea. Who really calls the Night Exchange? Guys that have no game. Guys that have no game know how to hook up a printer. So I call the Night Exchange. The guy's on the phone. He's like, hey, tell me what you're wearing. I'm like, okay, if you tell me how to hook up my printer. Oh, what gets you going? Oh, what really gets me going is hearing all about how to hook up a Brother 5000 to a laptop that's stuck on Windows XP. Then he asks me to send him a picture, so I send him a picture of my printer cord. He sends me a dick pic, but I'm able to print it. So I am from New York City. Thank you. So I've been a comic a really, really long time. When I first started doing stand-up to make extra money, I was a stripper. F you guys. Thank you. I was hot back in the day. I was. I'm not saying I'm not hot now. Of course I'm hot. Going through menopause, I'm always hot. But back in the day, I had boobs that stood up together and said, hello, sailor. Now they're like two old friends who haven't seen each other since high school. Now to make extra money, I'm a wedding officiant. I officiate weddings. I used to strip, and now I officiate weddings. I used to destroy marriages. now lives. You don't think about the passage of time. You don't think about your looks changing. And I had one of my friends posted a picture of me on Instagram from back in the day. I was so excited when I saw the picture. I was like, oh my God, I was so hot. I showed it to my husband. His eyes lit up. He was like, who's that? Doesn't matter. She never would have dated you. So I met my husband on an app. Anyone else date on the apps? Oh, I'm the only loser in the whole studio. I was on Hinge and Unhinged, Match.com, and Dirty Adult Friend Finder. My Match.com profile said loves fine dining. Dirty Adult Friend Finder, swallows. But I'm happily married for a couple of reasons. One of them is I don't believe in romance. I don't think anything ruins a relationship like watching like the Lifetime channel and the Hallmark channel. Do you watch that stuff? You look like you're a happy married couple. You watch it? I think that's what destroyed my sister's marriage. She would sit there next to her husband and be like, why can't you be like that? Because there are no guys like that. So we only watch science fiction because it's way more realistic. We recently watched an old show called Knight Rider. Let me hear you if you remember Knight Rider. All right. This show was huge, and it was a big science fiction masterpiece. The science fiction aspect of it was a guy that drove an uptight Tesla that he communicated with through his smartwatch. That's the only science fiction aspect of it. But the women in it are really weak, really, really weak, so I want to feminize it, right? That he's Michael Knight with his car, Knight Industry 2000, Kit. I want to be Michelle Knight with my car, Knight Lady Industry 2000, Clit. My husband would drive my car if he could find it. The other reason why I'm happily married, and I'll close out on this, is that I don't have kids. I know there are parents here. Parents, let me hear you. Yeah. Sir, you look like you could be a parent. You do. Look at me. I'm not even the person that my friends ask me to watch their kids. I'm the person that kids ask me to buy them booze, which I don't do unless they share it, of course. I had to do something to make sure I didn't get pregnant, so I had an IUD put in. Do you know what that is, sir? No, I really don't. You don't? No, he doesn't know what an IUD is. Sir, do you know what a clitoris is, sir? Pretty sure. That's why there's no woman next to you. Okay. Oh. My IUD got stuck on the way, and this happens sometimes. The doctor was like, the easiest way to get that thing in, I'm not even this is the true story. The easiest way to get that thing in is to go home and have a lot of sex. If you go home and have a lot of sex, you can literally shove the IUD in the right spot. So I go home to my husband, I'm like, hey baby, it's supposed to do a lot. And he's like, I'm not in the mood. You're not in the mood. I have a prescription for dick. Do you want me to fill it elsewhere? Because I know a guy in Staten Island who's pretty sure he knows what a clitoris is. I'm Sharon Simon. You have been fantastic. Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram, Simon_says_laugh.
Yeah. All right, comedian Sharon Simon at a theater near you. That's if they'll take her, so.